Why so many women awaken their intuition after divorce. How divorce shatters false narratives and activates the inner compass. There's a pattern I've witnessed again and again, first in my own life and now in the lives of the women I walk alongside. After divorce, something opens. Not immediately, not gently, but unmistakably. Women who once doubted their inner voice suddenly trust it. Women who never thought of themselves as intuitive begin having visceral body signals, clear knowing, vivid dreams, and an unshakable sense of direction. Women who spent years outsourcing truth to partners, families, institutions, logic, begin to orient from within. This isn't accidental, and it isn't magical fluff. It's the result of surviving a reality rupture. When reality splits, intuition becomes the only compass. During my divorce, truth fractured. My husband and I lived in entirely different narratives of the same marriage. Friends tried to help by finding middle ground. Family members saw the situation through their own lenses. Therapists offered frameworks. Logic was applied from every angle. None of it worked. Because logic fails when there is no shared reality. What cut through wasn't reason, it wasn't compromise, it wasn't persuasion, it was intuition. A quiet but relentless knowing that said, "This is not safe. This will not resolve." You cannot reconcile versions of truth that are built on different foundations. That moment, the one where intuition gets louder than fear, is the moment many women cross an invisible threshold. And once crossed, there's no going back. Divorce forces the collapse of external authority. Marriage often comes with an unspoken contract, shared decision-making, shared reality, shared truth. Divorce shatters that. Suddenly, the structures women were taught to rely on, partnership, social approval, external validation, either disappear or turn against them. In high-conflict divorces especially, women discover something sobering. Being reasonable does not guarantee being believed. Doing the right thing does not ensure protection. Explaining yourself does not create safety. This is where intuition steps in, not as a spiritual accessory, but as a survival mechanism. When institutions fail, when narratives compete, when authority figures minimize or blame, when consensus is impossible, the body knows. And once a woman learns to trust that knowing, she rarely unlearns it. Trauma clears the channel. This part is uncomfortable to name, but important. Trauma strips away illusion. Divorce, especially when layered with emotional, psychological, or physical threat, forces a reckoning. The nervous system becomes hyper-attuned. The body tracks patterns. The subconscious connects dots long before the conscious mind can articulate them. What many call an awakening is often the removal of numbing. Before divorce, many women are managing, buffering, accommodating, fixing. After divorce, there's no one left to manage but themselves. The internal noise finally quiets enough for something else to be heard. That something is intuition. Not magical, not abstract, deeply embodied. The feminine returns when the masculine strategy fails. Many women survive unhappy or unsafe marriages by leaning hard into masculine strategies. Logic, endurance, productivity, fixing, explaining, pushing through. I did. And it worked until it didn't. At the point where strategy fails, intuition becomes necessary. You cannot think your way out of an irreconcilable truth. You cannot logic your way into safety when power dynamics are skewed. This is why intuitive gifts often emerge after divorce, not before. Because intuition thrives when control is surrendered. Not surrendered as defeat, but as truth. The goddess archetype, Sophia, wisdom after the fall. There's a reason wisdom goddesses appear after rupture, not before. Sophia, the goddess of wisdom, is not the goddess of innocence. She is not naive. She is not untested. She is forged through discernment. Wisdom does not come from harmony. It comes from having seen what happens when harmony is impossible. This is the initiation so many divorced women unknowingly pass through. They stop trying to reconcile competing truths. They stop chasing consensus. They stop abandoning themselves in the hope of being understood. They choose themselves. And intuition rewards that choice by growing louder, clearer, more trustworthy. Why this matters now? I believe this is why so many women, especially divorced women, are becoming intuitive leaders, guides, writers, healers, and truth tellers right now. They've already lived through a reality collapse. They know what it feels like when narratives compete and authority fails. They know the cost of ignoring inner knowing. They have practiced discernment under pressure. They are not easily gaslit anymore. And in a world where truth feels fractured, where algorithms, institutions, and leaders all claim moral high ground, this kind of embodied wisdom is essential. Not to convince others, but to stay oriented. The quiet power of believing yourself. What saved me wasn't making anyone else believe my story. It was finally believing myself. That's the gift divorce gives many women, even when it takes everything else first. If you've noticed your intuition sharpening since your marriage ended, you're not imagining it. You didn't become intuitive. You've stopped abandoning your knowing, and once that door opens, it doesn't close. If you're standing at a threshold, divorce, identity collapse, or a season where truth feels impossible to reconcile, I offer Transition Doula coaching to help you reconnect with your inner compass and move through change without losing yourself. You don't need someone to tell you what's right. You need support learning to trust what you already know. May Sophia, Goddess of Wisdom, guide us when the stories of the world fracture, helping us discern what is true for us and walk forward with clarity, courage, and compassion. Find out more at www.goddessintraining.online.